Hey guys, it's your brother in Christ, Weston. Thanks for joining me today. So today's article comes out of Zero Hedge. Let's get into it. It says here, senior ISIS leader killed by U.S.-led joint forces strike in Iraq. Man, we're here. Another one. A key leader of ISIS terror group has been killed in a joint operation in Iraq. Abdallah Maki Mosleh al-Rifai, also known as Abu Khadija, was deputy caliph for ISIS and one of the most dangerous terrorists in Iraq and the world. According to a statement by Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Saduni, the Iraqis continued their remarkable victories over the forces of darkness and terrorism. Interesting. Al-Saduni wrote on social media platform X, Al-Rifai was killed in an airstrike in Anbar province in western Iraq on March 15th, conducted jointly by Iraqi National Intelligence and U.S.-led coalition forces. Oh, okay. President Donald Trump heralded the strike on the Truth social media as an example of his peace through strength foreign policy platform. Today, the fugitive leader of ISIS in Iraq was killed. Trump wrote on Friday he was relentlessly hunted down by our intrepid warfighters in coordination with the Iraqi government and the Kurdish regional government. The strike in the third major blow to ISIS in recent months, following the U.S.-led strikes against senior ISIS leader attacks and planners in Somalia in February and Syria in December 2024. ISIS, which controlled vast swaths of Iraq and Syria in 2015 and 2016, shifted an insurgency strategy after losing much of its territory there and quickly expanded on both sides and influenced through much of the northern and central Africa. The group remains an influential player among the many Islamist terror networks that have proliferated through the Middle East and Africa in the absence of stable governments. Civil leadership in Iraq is concerned about a possible resurgence of the group in the Middle East due to uncertainties about Syria's new government and the withdrawal of U.S. forces from the region. We're always in somebody's region doing something, helping something, and when we're not there, people then are emboldened to act a certain way. And I get it. Like, you're scared of America. You're scared of somebody who is more powerful, and so you're bullying away. Like when we leave, you try to bully your way or something like that, and that's how we get involved in a lot of places. I could see that. Um, or if we have a stake in something, of that certain region. Um, the United States and Iraq announced an agreement last year to wind down the military mission in Iraq and American-led coalition to fight ISIS. The U.S. forces is scheduled to begin departing Iraq by September of this year, following more than 2 decades of operations in the country. My goodness. At the time the agreement was made, Iraqi leadership expressed confidence it could root out the remaining ISIS cells without U.S. assistance. I remember this. Since then, however, the rapid fall of Assad regime in neighboring Syria and uncertainties over Syria's future has led to renewed concerns about the possible spread of extremist groups in the region. Though Syria's new leadership, led by terrorist group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, has pursued ISIS cells since taking power, there are widespread concerns that a breakdown in overall security of Syria could allow the group to stage a resurgence. Further, the news of al-Rifai's killing on Friday coincided with a visit to Iraq by Syria's new top diplomat to Iraq, who pledged to work with Iraq and the United States to continue combating ISIS. Syrian interim foreign minister Assad Hassan al-Shabani focused on the historic ties between the two countries, noting their respective roles throughout history in shaping Arab and Islamic culture and economy. Strengthening the partnership between the two countries, he said, would contribute to the stability of the region, making us less dependent on external powers and better able to determine our own destiny. Iraqi Foreign Minister Fuad Hussein likewise at a news conference that ISIS was one of the most common challenges facing Syrian and Iraqi society. The two nations would continue to work together to monitor and stamp out ISIS movements along the border. Hussein added that new operations room formed from Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, and Turkey would seek to confront ISIS, thereby transferring responsibility for the matter from a coalition led by the United States to one led by the regional powers. Good. That's good. Empowering people to protect their country and take care of their country, I think is an awesome thing. And I think that's why the U.S. is involved in a lot of those things, but that could be just very naive because I don't know the ins and outs of all those. But hearing that another ISIS leader is taken out for terrorism and for hunting down people and doing all these atrocities and then being found, like um, you reap what you sow kind of situation. And this is, it's seeing terrorist groups who have committed these atrocities when justice is coming. And so the people in the area as well, whether they're Muslim, whatever belief they are, there's something that divides them between like a radical side of something like this, and like you see ISIS versus a peaceful Muslim who may believe something different than us, but is not formed to that, and that brings hope to a lost and dying world where you see where darkness, people can truly like agree things are dark, can truly agree that things are not good despite what faiths we have, even though those faiths are shaping our worldviews. We can see the morality of it. You see what I'm saying? That shows this is not good. And the actions taken by man and the wickedness of our own heart are evident and prevalent throughout many places. And so seeing how the US has a foot in multiple places, it's almost like we're playing big brother to protect certain places, but we also need to be building. It's like, making disciples as we go to church, as we get under teachers and whatnot. We're supposed to be creating disciples so they can go out and create disciples, so they can be, at the same level as us, if not further and beyond, to, how the apostles created disciples, and those disciples, and then we have like church fathers. We have a pathway how it gets down to us. People have been taught, they've been taught. It's all the same, um, of what's been said, what's been written down, what's been spoken of, and the same message stays the same. But then there's something that like this radicalization that happens where something deviates, and these wings or these cliques or these sects or these cults or these pockets of radical faiths become something demonic. Like and obviously I agree that Christianity is the only thing that is true 1000%, but I could never say that all Muslims are ISIS Muslims kind of situation. That's not a true statement. And that they would want peace in some way, form, or fashion, despite our differences. And that's the same way we would all want it. That's the Bible tells us, work with our hands, looking for peace between each other, and live a quiet life. And so it's like, hey, like, obey your masters unto the Lord, do what's asked of the Lord and do what's asked of them, and if it goes against the Lord, then don't do it. All these things like that. And yet still, it's not asking us to take vengeance. It's not asking us to take vengeance, as vengeance is mine, it belongs to the Lord. um, it's not asking us to do these radical, inhumane, disgusting, vile acts that are happening. And so for this to happen, it's honestly a win for the world, if anything. So and it's another thing that's happening, that's like you see these strikes. We're talking about World War III, we're talking about Russia, we're talking about China, now we're in Iraq. This happened. Like, things are already happening, and there's going to be so many that happen, we lose track. And so I'm trying to keep up with it, to how we're getting to that proverbial explosion, that cartoon bomb that just explodes, and it happens, and what all the breadcrumbs that lead up to that moment. This stuff is important. This stuff is really important. So anyways, guys, that's the video. If you like the video, be sure to like the video. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Thank you, everybody, for just subscribing and watching in my little pocket here on YouTube. I'm so grateful, so appreciative of it. I'll see you in the next one.